guys, Ralph here. Welcome to True Power Trumpet Fitness and welcome to a wonderful, wonderful Monday morning. Magnificent Monday morning. The sky is blue. It's not too hot out. It is a beautiful, beautiful summer day. I was already outside working out. Just wonderful. Anyway, you saw the thumbnail. Mel's Musing, a little insight into the personality of Mel Broyles. He was quite a character. He really was. Anyway, I've not played a note yet. Let's see what we got. Your guess is as good as mine. Well, after 2+ years of this, I guess you pretty know what I'm going to play, but we'll see what happens. Spit buzz feels great. Spit buzz always does. Anyway, double C's and some Meistersinger. A little Wagner in the morning. Nobody in the history of trumpet played Wagner like Mel Broyles, or Strauss, or Bizet, or Rossini, or anything else. Guys, I've said many times, I really and truly believe, because of his versatility, and his chops. I mean, a genius with chops is what it was. He may have been the best trumpet player that ever lived. Most of you probably never heard him play. There's very, very little on the internet. There is one thing that's brilliant. He's playing piccolo trumpet at a clinic down at Curtis. It's just gorgeous. You talk about notes popping? Yeah, go check that one. Mel Broyles, Curtis Institute of Music. Yeah, Google that, and you want to talk about notes popping, guys. This is where my background came from. Anyway, not only did he influence me in so many ways, as you know, I have my first job out of college was opera, and I'll tell you what, young kid making a few bucks. It was not the Met by any means. It was far from the Met, but just sitting there playing some opera, I just felt like, man, I'm Mel Broyles. I mean, guys, not even close. Not even close. And all due respect to anybody that has ever played opera anywhere, who is playing opera now or whatever, not even close to Mel Broyles. Not even close. And that includes me. I'm not knocking anybody. There are some wonderful players out there. But this guy was so extraordinary in every sense of the world, every sense of the word. It's just unbelievable. Now, the thing that I loved so much about him, after his sublime playing, of course, was his personality. It was very, very abrasive, very, very to the point, and a lot of the guys did not like it. Did not like it. I completely understand why. Again, 18 years old, I was starstruck. There's no question about it. And the personality I just thought was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Now, if I wasn't so overwhelmed by his playing, maybe not so much. And maybe if I had met him later in life as a professional or something, the personality probably, maybe. I don't think so. I just thought he was unique, extraordinary, and I just couldn't get enough of his musings and his words of wisdom along with his playing. I loved every second of every lesson I ever took with Mel Broyles. Anyway, what I'm about to say happened. I think it's hilarious, okay? And some of the language is quite foul. He did have, and I told you, a very abrasive personality, okay? So if that is going to upset you, turn it off now, okay? But the advice he gave me that day was some rules to live by and rules about how to deal with the world and life in general. And I think anybody in the music business, anybody in the music business could benefit from this. Okay? So take it as you will. And again, there's some foul language. So turn it off if you don't want that. Anyway, and again, I don't use these words either. But again, sort of give you an idea of what Mel was all about. Okay? So anyway, I'm pretty sure I was a sophomore in college. Okay? Going over the Met one day and taking 1 week and alternating with Marciano and just on cloud nine. But I was starting to work. Okay? And actually, I was doing quite a bit of work. I was doing Hasidic weddings, believe it or not, out in Williamsburg and Crown Heights and all that sort of stuff, and making a bundle. Well, a bundle. What appeared to a 19-year-old bohemian trumpet player, a bundle. It wasn't that much looking back at it. But anyway, this particular band leader who's throwing me a lot of work, was stiffing me on some money. You know, you're supposed to get 4 hours, you know, that's cut in stone, and then anything over 4 hours was time and a half. And he was notorious for screwing everybody with the time and a half. Okay? And he was killing me. I was a new guy on the block. I was trying to make my mark, and he knew that I would do it. You know, he knew I needed the money, and I put up with it, so he just kept screwing me on the money. 4 hours. No. We started at 8:30. No, we didn't. We started at 8 o'clock on the every single time I'd go to get paid. Everything was in cash, off the books. I couldn't complain, you know. But anyway. So here we are. So I bring this problem into Mel Broyles one day. I said, this guy, he's just killing me. He's not paying me what he's supposed to. And you know, he said to me, Ralphie, fuck you. I told you, it was, you know, if I was expecting warm and fuzzy, I wasn't going to get it. I said, excuse me, Mel Broyles? He says, what word didn't you understand? Well, this guy, Ralphie, I got 2 words for you, and they're not happy birthday. I said, I don't want to hear this bullshit. I said, Mr. Broyles, you're my teacher, and you're technically my advisor. I just thought I'd run this by you. He says, Ralphie, let me give you a piece of advice that you should take anywhere you go. He says, when we go out in this business called the music business, it's a jungle out there. And Ralphie, they got you by the balls. And he says, nobody wants to hear you complain. Now, crass, maybe not the right way to handle a 19-year-old kid, but perfect. You think about it. Anybody that goes on a job, anybody that has any line of work, nobody wants to hear about, you know, the sun's in your eyes. Nobody wants to hear about, you know, my chops, I did a Latin job and they're swollen. Nobody wants to hear about it. Keep it home. Wonderful advice. Okay, I'm not too smart. I kept going. I said, but Mr. Broyles, you know, this guy, every single time it comes to get paid, and he's rolling his eyes. He says, okay, Ralphie, let me put it another way. It comes down to one thing. You got this, Ralphie? One thing. Do you want the gig? But Mr. Broyles, that's not what I asked you. Do you want the gig? I said, well, yeah, the money. Still, I didn't get it. But Mr. Boss, he does it to everybody. And it's not a union gig, so I can't go running to the union or anything like that. And he's getting bugged. He's getting bugged. I wouldn't let it go. And he says, one more way, Ralphie. I'm going to give you this one more way, and then we get to it. He says, is this guy paying your rent? I said, yeah, I'd be in trouble if it wasn't for that. This one band leader. He said, Ace, if they're paying your rent, let them shit on your face. I was taken back, remember, 19 years old. But think about it, guys. Is that crass? And yeah, but is that the best advice anybody could have ever given you at 19 years old? Number one, nobody wants to hear you complain. Nobody wants to hear about your headache, your hangover. Nobody wants to hear about it. Well, I cut my chops. Nobody wants to hear about it. Number two, do you want the gig? Do you want the gig? And if he's paying your rent, until you get something else, you take what he's going to give. And it was the most extraordinary advice I ever got. And I can't begin to tell you how many times I used that since then. And you want to know the truth? My daughter had a similar little thing that came up. And I told her the whole thing, complete with the expletives. And we had a huge laugh. We just couldn't stop laughing. And to this day, things come up, and she says in her Mel voice, Ace, it comes down to one thing. Do you want the gig? I heard her saying that to her boyfriend over the phone. I swear to God. The boyfriend was having trouble at his job. Ace, I swear to God. Guys, if that, especially for you young guys, there's so many retired guys out there. It's too late now. But I'm telling you, if that isn't the best advice I could ever give anybody, I don't know what it is. So there you go. Straight from Mel Broyles with the inflections of the voice and the crude language and everything. That was Mel. The greatest trumpet player that ever lived, and just a character. Miss you, Mel, very much. I think about you every day. God bless y'all. Eat and drink your fruits and vegetables, and we'll talk again tomorrow.